Yeah, I'm good. Not too bad.
Good, Robbie. Listen, first thing, mate, we're 2 games into the season. Everybody's getting a bit carried away, are they not? Or are you a bit panicky yourself, mate?
A little bit panicky, I have to admit, because I think it's more for me personally. It's more been in the performances. The performances have been really bad because you do actually have to. Nobody's really taken into account. There has been a lot of mitigating circumstances. You know, the first game, no Lacazette, no Aubameyang, they got COVID. You know, no Thomas Partey, no Gabriel. You know, then we go into the next game. You know, same players missing, and then we've got Ben White, new signing, he's out with COVID. I think Bellerin. You know, so he has had a lot of injuries. You know, and then the players that have come in like Gabriel Martinelli, straight from the Olympics, straight into the team. You know, Balogun, who played in the first game, I think it was his first ever start for Arsenal. Yeah, so there's been a lot of tough things for him to deal with, but for me, it's been the performances. Like against Chelsea, I was just like, I know they're a better team than us. I know they're expected to beat us as well. And I know it's a really tough start, but we've got to be better organised than what I'm seeing at the moment. And it's more the tactics. It's more I'm looking at Arsenal at the moment and I'm trying to figure out what our style is. And that's the thing that's worrying me at the moment.
When you speak to fans, because you've obviously not been able to do it in the same way that you always used to do it outside the stadiums and all that sort of stuff, and now fans are back and you're having a chat with them, and what do they feel is the main problem with Arsenal at the moment?
The performances, the style of play. I think a lot of fans are just they can't. I think that's what's leading to a lot of the depression. Apart from the obvious fact that we've lost our first 2 games. It's just that we're not seeing a pattern of play. It's not like we went to Brentford and we battered them, but they got the victory. You know, that you can say, all right, well, excuse me, we lost, but I could see something. Or against Chelsea, it's like both games we were turned over pretty easily, and that's the worrying thing. And I think patience is starting to run thin with Mikel Arteta. When he first came in, I think a lot of fans really wanted a more experienced manager, but he came in and he started off really well. Remember, he won the FA Cup, did really well to begin with. But now I think, just speaking to fans, I was speaking to fans at the ground at the weekend, and it was mixed. Some their patience are gone, and there are others calling for patience, but I do feel that, this is football, isn't it? He's going to get, even the game tomorrow against West Brom, that's now become a big game. I don't think he can go into that game and rest loads of players, or I think he has to go for that game. And that's going to be tough because they've been doing really well so far. I don't think they've lost a game yet. So that's a tough game. And in Man City at the weekend, away. So,
Robbie, what about the signings, mate? I'm looking at the signings, and with the greatest respect, Ben White, Ramsdale, Odegaard, boys like that, they're very, very good players. But are they top level players? And by that, you look at City, they go and buy Grealish. Kane might become available. Chelsea go and get Lukaku. These guys are at the top level. Are Arsenal fans happy with the signings?
I think, you know what, I sort of said this the other day, that when you look at the signings, they're sensible signings. They're not your big marquee signings, but they are sensible signings in positions that we need. But I guess because for quite a few years, we haven't made good signings, we're all looking for, we all want a Lukaku, or we all want something like that on top, So that's, again, been the problem, because we look at it and we spent a lot of money, but we still, there's still not that signing that really, really excites us. But then you then look at it practically and you say, but you know what? We needed a backup goalkeeper. We needed a left back. We needed somebody, an attacking midfielder, who can create. So they're all sensible signings. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're wrong signings, but we need something. I feel that Arsenal fans at the moment need something to excite us a bit. And, none of those signings you really look at and say, I'm really super excited about seeing them play.
I agree with that, Robbie, because it's gone are the days where we would get these big marquee signings, and they were exciting. You go, oh my goodness, like an Ozil on deadline day signing or something like that. Something as well to keep up with what the rest of the league are doing, because it feels like Arsenal have slipped so greatly that space between where Arsenal are now and even the top 6, it actually just feels like it's getting bigger at the moment.
Yeah, no doubt. And, just going back to the signings, look at some of the signings we made last season, like, Willian, Pablo Mari, they haven't worked, have they? So that's why I say I look at these signings and they're sensible. But I just feel that you're right. They're not the same caliber when you look at some of the other teams. And I just feel as well that now when, with the honeymoon period for Mikel Arteta, these are all his signings. And even those other signings I just mentioned, Willian, Pablo Mari, Cedric, these are all Arteta signings. So it's not like when he first came in where he can say, well, he's inherited this team and he's got Ozil there and this player, and most of those players are gone now. The players that are here are his players. The decisions to keep Xhaka and all of those are down to him now. So you guys know how it works. If it works out, brilliant. He was right. Fantastic. But if it don't, and you see poor performances like at the weekend, all eyes are on the manager, and he's under a lot of pressure now, I feel, with the Arsenal fans. I heard what Adrian Durham said there about all the fans booing. Yeah, there was a little bit of booing at the end, but the fans were right behind the team at the weekend. They really were, and I didn't really see loads and loads of discontent in the ground. But I do feel that if we lose the next 2, then when we get to that game against, I think it's Norwich, that's a must win. Because, we just can't, this is Arsenal Football Club, we can't be losing 4 or 5 games in a row at the start of the season, no points, no goals. You don't last, do you, if that happens? So I hope he can turn it around, because he's a young manager. Yeah. And you can see, he says the right things, and you can see his heart's in the right place. But I think now results are required, Yeah. They are required. Of course, patience is running very thin.
Robbie, it's wonderful to speak to you, mate. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Robbie.
Good to see you back.